It's that time once again. It's time we look to redeem ourselves as we look to get what's rightfully ours, to get our revenge on Vengeance Day and NXT. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of HCW Show Squared. The show where we take the usual formula of the HCW show and expand it to the power of, you guessed it, two. That's right, I'm bringing this back. As always, I'm your host, Dan DP, or as we all say in the biz nowadays, DPZ, yeah. And before we get into it, I'll go through the same shtick that I normally do. Please give us a like, follow, subscription on the channels that we use, and the different medias that we use, and our outlets. Everything that we get, every interaction we get helps us towards our goals. We're hoping to hit 200 subs on YouTube before March, I think it was, because that's our second anniversary. And yeah, other than that, obviously there's above my head in a minute. There we go. Is the outdated stuff, but we have our Twitch, our Twitter, our Instagram, and our Facebook. Ignore Threads, that should not be there. And of course, if you're so inclined, mine is just here. Okay, I can get my points there. I'm there on Twitter. So if you're free to and you want to, then give us a follow. FB helps towards our goals, and like I said, we're trying to hit 200 subs before March, so any help there will be greatly appreciated. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff on YouTube, and the rest of it, give us a follow.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
Anyway, let's get into the show itself. So, we're kicking things off with NXT Vengeance Day for the 4th of February. Booker T's in the hospital, so Wade Barrett is here to fill his boots and call the action with Vic Joseph. So we're kicking things off strong here. And then speaking of kicking off strong, the first match of the night was the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. The team of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams against the Wolf Dogs, Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker. Baron and Bron come out on motorcycles, but it looked like Baron wasn't aware that Bron was also doing that. So it's just another iteration of their goofiness and how it's like that Step Brothers kind of film, kind of relationship between them. Anyway, the Wolf Dogs win, following a spear from Bron on Carmelo, and the impact of said spear on Carmelo wiped out Trick long enough that the pin could be counted. Which is it's a small thing, but it just, the intensity and the impact of Bron's spear was so much, so vast, that it took Trick out of action for enough time to get the pin. Great stuff. It's a very small detail, but I love it. I rated 3 stars though. I'm really surprised to be rating this considerably lower than I foresaw, because the names involved in the match: Carmelo Hayes, Chip Williams, Baron Corbin, Bron Breakker. This is like all the trademarks, all the points, all the bullet points. I don't know the word is for it. All the makings, maybe, of been a 4.5, 5-star potentially match. Like, but no. It was subject to a few miscommunications, a couple of botches. There was even a spot where Baron almost gets decapitated by the ropes, which looks horrible. It wouldn't normally affect the rating though, these botches and stuff, but it did enough here to be noticeable, and especially on a big stage like Vengeance Day. The match was good though, for what it was. I'm just glad everyone seemed to be okay afterwards, health-wise that is. And also, another fun tidbit is Baron Corbin wins the Dusty Classic after 9 years since the first one that he was also in, and he went to the finals. The Wolf Dogs, though, go on, though, to take on the family for the titles at some point in the future. Move on to the no DQ match between Dijak and Joe Gacy. Dijak wins, though, with the Feast Your Eyes. I rated 3.5 stars. I honestly really enjoyed it. People complained that There was a lack of selling. While that's literally Gacy's character is that he doesn't sell stuff. Gacy's a man who gets off on being punished, and Dijak's a man who gets off on doing the punishment. There were plenty of fun spots, and it was practically non-stop. It was a very enjoyable match to the point where things felt a little rushed as well, I will say. It wasn't too noticeable though, and overall did not take from the experience of the match. I enjoyed this, and it's a solid shout for Match of the Night at this point in time. We go backstage. It appears that the Ladies of Chase U calendar is really popular among people, and it'll be on WWE Shop too. So you can buy it yourselves, your hound dog. After this, we move on to the mixed 6-person tag match. So the family, Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Adriana Rizzo, the Riz, who deals with Biz, take on OTM out the mud. Lucian Price, Bronco Nima, and Jada Parker. The family win with Tony's forget about it on Lucian Price. I rated this 2 stars personally. I really don't see what the point was of the match. It just sort of felt like it was there because it had to be. I can only assume it was put there to replace the match for Cora Jade. Obviously, Cora got injured a few weeks ago, and I'm assuming they're building a match for her. Maybe with, I don't know, I think it was Gigi Dolan she was fighting. But yeah, it's weird. It was quite a poor match, to speak honestly. OTM are a team that I've previously praised because they're part of that 4-way team thing at the last one, and then that was great. But maybe because they were being carried, or this was an off day, I don't know entirely. But yeah, it's weird. It looked quite sloppy, and that's not even talking about Adriana Rizzo and Jada Parker, who both looked really green in this match, and their exchanges were very slow and almost painful to watch. I assumed OTM would get the win though, because they'd win the match, except the title match with the family, and then lose to them that way. But yeah, I'm not sure why this happened on a pay-per-view and not a standard TV episode. That's just me though. We go backstage now. In the trainer room, we get the continuation of our favourite game show. How long will Trick Williams allow Carmelo Hayes to gaslight him until he realises? I forgot the name of the game show myself, and I made it up. Carmelo reveals that he intentionally took the spear from Braun, so Trick could conserve the energy for Ilya in the main event. Carmelo then offers to remain backstage, but Trick actually wants him out there this time. So, bit of progression there, whereas Trick wanted to be by himself, but he wanted Carmelo to be there for his crowning moment. Speaking of crowning moments, Roxanne Perez takes on Lyra Valkyria now for the NXT Women's Championship. Lyra retains with the Nightwish over Lola Vice. Yep, you heard that right. During the match, Lola Vice cashes in her breakout contract to make it a triple threat match and add herself to the match. A la Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 31. I rated it 2.5 stars personally. The match between Perez and Valkyria was good. It was getting better and towards a good match when just everything sort of happened. Perez hits a code red, and then out comes Lola Vice to cash in. She knocks out Tatum Paxton, who tries to get in the way, and then it's a freeway. The ref could have still counted Perez's pin on the code red, the pop rocks, but I don't know. Perez. I think Perez didn't go for the pin or something like that, so that's why he didn't count it or something. But after this, though, it was at the point of the action began to pick up again, as thoughts that Lola could potentially win the title were beginning to flood in. And then Lyra wins, strangely, with a win over Lola. And I get wanting to keep Roxanne looking strong, but for an actual one-on-one match with Roxanne, with Lyra, sorry. But this is not the way to do it. And Lola could have cashed in when both were down, or even after the match, instead of how they handled this here. Okay, after this, a vignette airs, a black screen, some white text. I've got here the exact quote that was said. Man has 3 faces. 1 the world sees, 1 his family sees, and the real one that no one sees, but reflects the evil he truly possesses. And that was all we got. So I have no idea who that was. I have no idea who that's meant to be. There was some talking around going that is like a Japanese origin quote. So, oh my god, it's Okada. Okada's in NXT. I don't know. We'll find out soon though. Anyway, we move on now to the NXT North American Championship. Dragon Lee challenges champion Oba Femi. And Oba retains with a pop-up release powerbomb. I rated this 2 and 3/4 stars. It was okay. Nothing to shout about. It was a typical David and Goliath sort of match where David is incredibly talented and Goliath isn't that good. But it's a very strange environment. It almost felt like a squash match. And I get that it was probably a showcase match because Dragon Lee's going to main roster now. Oba being a new recruit for NXT, it's strange that he got the North American title in the first place. But putting him with Dragon Lee is a wise choice to get him to, suck up new skills and new moves and new abilities and stuff like that. But overall, it was good enough. I do wonder though if Oba is ready for the skills for this, because I hope that whatever affected Oba in this match here doesn't continue in the future. Because if you're having issues against someone like Dragon Lee, you're going to struggle against other people in the roster. Backstage, Lexis King continues to be a sleazeball with Thea and JC. When Riley Osborne comes in to stop this, and then the fight breaks up between those two. Backstage, there's another fight breaking up between Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez as they battle in the interview area. And then we go to a main event. Trick Williams, I can say defense. Trick Williams challenges champion Ilya Dragunov. Who do you think won? No, but of course, if you're watching this, you probably already know what happened, and you probably already know who won. The answer to that question is, of course, Ilya fucking Dragunov. I was so torn if this match was a 5-star match for me when I rated it. And I initially rated it 5. I initially rated it a 5-star match. On reflection, I rated it 4 and 3/4, so 4.75. And then on further reflection, I reverted back. So this is officially a 5-star match. It was perfect. Honestly, I couldn't find a fault. Both men with a never say die attitude, the sub-story in Trick and Mello, the constant false finishes, and then the ending, the final trade-off of the Flash Knee and the Torpedo Moscow that resulted in Ilya's way. It could have gone Trick's way. Perfect in every way. And further proves why Ilya Dragunov is in the industry for being Wrestler of the Year, Wrestler of the Decade. We're not even halfway through this decade and I'm putting him up there. The guy is a beast everywhere possible, Ilya. Every single way. And, it's fantastic. His intensity and the fire he brings to every match, it's just insatiable. It's something that you don't see in other people. Now, on the other hand of this, of course, this was Trick Williams' night. This is his breakout night, his showcase night. He had 2 matches and he shined in one of them. The tag match was made with Braun and Baron, so yeah. Obviously, this is his night to fully form himself into the babyface that we all knew was coming, but also the one that the fans wanted. Blinded initially by his friendship, his loyal friendship as well. Blinded by his loyalty to Carmelo. To then just the betrayal that was right there in Trix's face. And to ultimately fail, partly due to Carmelo. Earlier in the night, Carmelo, post-match, he does attack Trick, intentionally, with a chop block, and then hits him with a chair. Carmelo establishes himself as the heel of this. Finally, the heel again, and Trick gets the full treatment of the babyface. He gets the adoration, the applause, and a significant villain to go against in Carmelo. Amazing stuff, amazing main event. I can't not praise this for what it was. It was amazing. The way it was handled, perfection. I don't think I've seen something like this on WWE TV. Like, there was obviously the Gunter and Sheamus match, but that wasn't a 5-star for me. The Clash of the Castle one, that wasn't a 5-star match for me. This was. It was great. And it's funny, because a few months ago, I wouldn't have said that about Trick Williams. I literally said, well, I'll get to that, but I've said some things about Trick Williams that I don't regret, because they were correct in my opinion at the time. But yeah, this is an amazing main event. To end a somewhat okay show, like the main matches, of course, were the main event and the Dijak Gacy match. Other than that, the rest of it was kind of just there, including the Dusty Classic, which is weird to say that, but yeah, very odd show. Vengeance Day that was topped off with a fantastic main event. But yeah, that was Vengeance Day. Let me know your thoughts down below if you agree or disagree with my ratings, or if you just have your own opinions. Go for it. Anyway, let's move on. So, moving on to NXT Weekly. This is for the 6th of February. So we kick off NXT this week with the man himself, him, Carmelo Hayes. He comes up with a chair, sits in the ring. It's the very chair that he beat Chick with at Vengeance Day. Shout of boos from the crowd. He revels in it for a little bit before saying, "Not yet." I'm walking out, leaving us all wanting more. You damn devil. So then we go from one story of betrayal to another story of congratulations. It's the Wolf Dogs and their celebration for winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic. Baron and Braun exchange a couple of barbs, like a couple of friendly barbs between each other, but they want to cut to brass tacks and call out the tag champs, the family, Tony and Stacks. But they're cut off by the first match of the night in a very weird looking thing, but fair enough. And your first match of the night is Nathan Frazier and Axiom against Edges Inoue and Malik Blade. You may recall from last week there was a segment where they confronted them about their stuff with Brindley Reese, where Brindley was like 5 positives, 5 negatives, and Edge is like, okay, I've got my 5 positives and 2 negatives. And then they start talking about that stuff, and then it come Nathan and Axiom, who just basically berate them for having stupid like reflection practices. And then Brindley's like, you know what, you two can fight next week on NXT, and then Cult rolls out the room. I get a chuckle out of that. About Brindley's little, like, she's excitable, and then she just cartwheels out the room. Nathan and Axiom win following a 450 splash and golden ratio on Edris. I rate this 3.5 stars. They gave this match time, like actual time. They gave these two seemingly random teams time to actually do stuff. They got like 15 minutes or so, which is really like it's unheard of. It was really surprising because I expected some kind of interference or ending earlier than what we got. And as time kept going, I was thinking, okay, this is it, this has to be it. And then like it kept going. I was like, oh shit, okay, fucking cook. But obviously by TV standards, this was a great TV match. Both teams really showed off what they can do, and because of that allowance, they put on a great opener. Great match opener, great thing to start off things to NXT here. Post match though, I think it's a very fair match. I said it was 3.5 in case. Post match though, the Wolf Dogs attack Nathan and Axiom before the family come out to accept the Wolf Dogs' challenge, and maybe stop the assault on Nathan and Axiom. I don't know. In the parking lot though, Ilya's here, and he has questions for Carmelo Hayes. Speaking of Ilya Dragunov, he's out next. Ilya prays his trick and calls out Carmelo, to no reply. But out comes Dijak. Dijak wonders what Ilya's obsession is with Melo and Trick, before beginning to find similarities between himself and Ilya, and ultimately declaring his interest in Ilya's title. Ilya at first turns Dijak down, at first, but then a fight breaks out between them as Dijak headbutts Ilya, and the refs come in to stop it and break him away. But it seems we do have a future match set, not necessarily for the title, but maybe for the title. But yeah, we'll see. Moving on to the next match of the night, which was Lexis King and Riley Osborne This also came across from last week on Vengeance Day, sorry, when they finally came to blows. Lexis wins with the coronation. I rated 1.5 stars. It did not serve anything other than further than the sub story of Chase U. Riley kept getting distracted by the lack of Thea Hale in the audience. Overall, not sure why that actually didn't happen, or why it was even booked to begin with, really. Anyway, here is Carmelo Hayes. He's back in the spotlight on a chair in the middle of the ring. He talks this time. So again, I'll just read out the quote that I've taken here from it. The villain is always the villain when the hero is telling the story. Which is also a very good thing to say. It's not many people say that. It's not many say oh, hear me out, hear my side of the story. Because all books are told, from the author's side, from the side of the hero. There's never the villain's doing this because etc. It's just the villain's doing this and the hero's gonna save him. It's very black and white, the way books are written. But Carmelo says that he's not jealous of Trick's success. He allowed Trick to succeed in achievements so he makes his family proud, just so he'll take it all away to remind him of his place. Carmelo believes that Trick crossed him first, and that Hayes would get the NXT title and Trick would get the North American title as per the agreement that they supposedly had beforehand. But Trick betrayed the agreement, that trust that they had, because he listened to the fans. And then finally, we do get that long question that we've been wanting to answer for a while. Did Carmelo attack Trick Williams? The question that we've been wondering for ages. And he confirms it was him who attacked Trick. But, as he confirms this, here comes Trick. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. But no. Not today. It plays with a little bit, and then Noel comes out, and then Carmelo starts dancing in the ring, so you know what's going on. And then we get the thing that I said a few months back about Trick. That's been confirmed by Carmelo. Obviously, these were different times in the booking, so I don't agree with what he's saying here, but it's fun to hear him say what I said before. So Trick says that Carmelo says that Trick is nothing more than this hype man, and that's all it is, and that's all he'll ever be. I'm pretty sure it's something that I've said exactly to those words. In regards to what I thought about it, I loved it. It was a basic explanation, and it works perfectly. The Carmelo and Trick story is one of the greatest things that WWE has ever told over the past couple of decades. They built two genuine stars out of it, and it didn't feel forced. It felt organic. It felt genuine. And I can't wait to see that eventual clash between Carmelo and Trick, whenever that happens. Moving on though, we have Roxanne Perez taking on Lola Vice, another rivalry / match / feud, whatever, that came across from Vengeance Day, because obviously Lola got pinned in Lyra's title match with Roxanne. I rated this 2.75 stars. It was a decent match. It was kind of ruined by the ending, personally. Tatum Paxi comes out, tries to cash in the breakout contract that was already cashed in, and also was non-title. So I don't know what she was cashing in to try and win. I think Lola has proven that she's a credible competitor, and this might be a bit of a hot take, but she was sort of lumbered with Elektra Lopez before, who kind of held her back. I'll see it. I assume she's going to feud now with Tatum going forward, but after that, I don't know. She's really opening some eyes though to her work, and I'm pleased for that because I've been a fan of her for a while. After this, we have another match. We have Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson taking on Fallon Henley and Ren Sinclair. Metaphor won the match with a powerbomb from Lash on Ren. I rate this 2.25 stars. I get that they need to build Lash up for stuff, like title matches stuff with Lyra, maybe, I don't know. But the way things stand, she just needs to have that one-on-one match with Fallon and cut out the whole Ren Sinclair and Jakara Jackson stuff. Red Sinclair is surprisingly the weak link in this, the weak point of all this, despite being a somewhat established star on the indie circuit. As I always say, her indie name, her indie indie persona was Maddie Rinkowski. So it's surprising to see her like this here, but obviously developmental, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Backstage, Briggs and Jensen have a confrontation because Jensen says he can't keep going by himself. He needs Fallon back and he needs Briggs back. And then Briggs gives him a reality check and then slams up against a locker. But he just says stuff like, stop living in the past, look towards the future, learn from me, learn from Fallon. We moved on. You got to do the same. Also backstage, Jada Parker requests a one-on-one match with Adriana Rizzo, then we've got NXT, and it is accepted. That's right. We get to watch Rizzo and Parker in a one-on-one match on NXT next week. Can't wait. Anyway, in comes Ridge, who still wants to fight Gallus, and Ava agrees to set up a sort of gauntlet where he'll fight one by one. I presume over the course of weeks, and then that's basically it. And then the main event is non-title match: Ilya Dragunov against Dijak, and Ilya wins with the H-bomb. I rated 3.5 stars. Great match, hard hitting, high intensity, the works. They've had great matches in the past as well, so I'm not surprised here. It helped that it wasn't even advertised as well. So if you bought a ticket for the show, you didn't know what you were getting in that main event. The only reason it wasn't a 4-star match for me was the ending of the match. The ending of the match saw Joe Gacy slide out from under the ring and hit Dijak with a boxing glove, which didn't make much sense, I guess, for me. But it is what it is, I guess, because Dijak are going to be continuing their feud. Whatever. But Ilya wins, and to end the show off, Ilya holds the title up in the air. He's champion. But no, Carmelo attacks Ilya, and then he holds up the NXT title to end the show, making his intentions all that much more clearer if they weren't already clear. He wants that NXT title back, and the ending shot sees Ilya down while Carmelo holds the belt. And I see him going two ways with this. So they either have Carmelo take the belt from Ilya and then trick to hold Carmelo at Stand and Deliver, or they do what I said I think last week or the week before, the dual threat match at Stand and Deliver. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and Ilya Dragunov for the title. Then that could be Carmelo's last match on NXT as he goes up. Ilya might go up as well, and then Trick can be the one to lead the brand going forward. But yeah, that was NXT. And that was NXT Vengeance Day. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you agree, disagree, etc. And yeah, this has been the review. This has been Show Squared. I've been DP, and this is me saying goodbye.